All right, y'all, how are you doing? This is Tamara with her Fruity Fro. Hey, so I'm gonna show you how, you can already see a little bit of it, but this is how I blow out my 4C hair. As you can see, my hair is sectioned off. I like to go get those little clips from the beauty supply store. And what I've done is actually washed my hair and deep conditioned it, and then, I should step back actually. What I did is I did a protein treatment on my hair, and I'll do a separate video explaining that step-by-step process. But I did a protein treatment with avocados, mayonnaise, and eggs, and honey, and a few other ingredients. And I then washed my hair, I shampooed it, and then I did a deep condition and then left that conditioner in there. So here we go, let me show you some more. Okay, so I sectioned my hair off, and what you're seeing now is I'm just kind of tucking in a part that was blow dried, that I had just blow dried, and clipping that back down so it doesn't get mixed in with the hair that is still wet. And like I was saying before, I deep conditioned my hair. There's my detangling brush. I'll link that down below in the description box. But I deep conditioned my hair with my leave-in conditioner after doing both my protein treatment and my shampoo. So I'll do a video on how to make the DIY protein treatment. What I'm doing now is I'm just finger detangling, and I'm showing you that anything that I pull out from the finger detangling, that's like single strand knots, or SSKs as we like to call them, I'm just trying to go through and carefully pick those out before using my detangling brush on them. So I showed the detangling brush before just to kind of foreshadow that I am going to end up using it. But before I even dare to run a brush through my hair, first of all, I always make sure it's wet and never manipulate hair that is not wet. And I make sure that I finger detangle it. So I let that leave-in conditioner sit on my hair as a deep condition under like a shower cap or a bag. And over that I did like a towel turban. And I'll link down below the turban that I use. So what I'm doing now is starting at the very bottom, right? Started from the bottom, now we're here. And very gently, slowly, like making sure to get any of the single strand knots out, right? And then working slowly up the shaft. So never do your hair when you're in a hurry, because you're gonna try to rush through the process and then probably end up pulling more out of your hair, and that's counterproductive. That's not what we want. We're trying to grow our hair to tailbone length, honey. So I'm gonna keep going, and as you can see, not a whole lot is coming off the detangling brush. I absolutely love that brush because it doesn't pull your hair nearly as rigidly, like it's not as rigid in terms of while it's going through your hair as a normal brush would be, right? The flexi brush for me is such a game changer. So I'm just going through carefully, and like I always say, the liquid oil cream method is tried and true. So my hair is wet. It has been sitting in that leave-in conditioner for roughly around 30 minutes. I think maybe I left it in for like an hour actually. So 30 minutes to an hour. Some folks do overnight. That's not absolutely necessary, but in my case, I just did 30 minutes to an hour. Overnight would be fine if you want to, but 30 minutes to an hour should be okay. So I'm just going through. Notice how not much hair is coming out in the brush, right? So that finger detangling step is crucial first. And again, my hair has been cornrowed and left under a wig for the last 2 months, and that doesn't mean I don't wash it in between, right? Like every couple of weeks within that 2 to 3 month time frame that I'm leaving my hair under a wig. I like 2 months better than 3. Oh, check that out, right? So I like 2 months better than 3 because I find after 3 it gets a little more matted than I would like. But while it's in those cornrows, I will shampoo my hair and put leave-in conditioner in it and then blow it out. So that's the total hair fall from me going through it with the detangling brush. Oh yeah. So yeah, I will shampoo my hair. I'll put my shampoo and my leave-in conditioner, all that in the description box. I am still on my Shea Moisture, y'all, but I might try some other brands later. I just really like that Jamaican Black Castor Oil collection. So I use my spray bottle to wet it a little bit more, to just kind of lightly mist it. I'll also link my spray bottle down in the description box. And yeah, so what I'm doing now, and that's my blow dryer. I'm going to link that down below in the description box as well. What I'm doing now is I'm going to start off low. I think I showed this later or in the next part of the video. I start off with the setting on low, and again, I start at the very bottom and then gently work my way to the top. So there's levels to this. So keep going up. I start off low and then eventually I turn it up. I don't think I even bothered turning it up to high at this point because I was just comfortable taking my time and continuing to go at the low section. And at this point, I wanted to be extra careful because I think I broke off some of the hair on that side of my head the last time I did my takedown. The last time I did, because I chose to do twists underneath my wig instead of doing cornrows, and it got really, really matted. And that's a note for y'all. Don't do twists. I mean, it's to each their own, but I'm finding that I lose less hair when I cornrow my hair under my wigs. And eventually, what I'll do is also make a couple videos showing y'all what I like to do with my wigs and how I put them on, the different wigs in my little collection, and then just showing you the new wigs that I buy over time because I tend to replace them every few months. Yeah, so just going through and giving my hair some love. Contrary to popular belief, right? A lot of folks assume like, okay, well, they say low manipulation, so that means I should straighten my hair as little as possible, blow dry it as little as possible. And I say, no. I tried that and I noticed my hair would get so matted, right? And it's unfortunate that the world has made us believe, right, to a certain extent, that straightening your hair is a Western thing or like a non-black thing. No, like black people have been straightening their hair without outside influence for centuries, right? Like if you look back, there's so many pictures from historical records of black people straightening their hair with different styling tools, right? Because heat is an abundant supply in Africa and the Caribbean, right? So think about it. Like, heat doesn't destroy our hair. It's how we use that heat on our hair. So I noticed that stretching my hair periodically with the blow dry is actually very, very helpful, very essential, right? Like, that's a non-negotiable. Like, I must blow out my hair every couple months or else it'll get matted, tangle, and just break off super easily. So I'm just going through. And now I'm getting at the root. If you can see, I'm taking it a little bit more slowly to just make sure that the root is blown out so that it just is evenly straightened, evenly blown, and I'm not walking around with half my hair still kind of like nappy and like thick at the root, and then the rest of the hair is straight. So I like it to be one uniform texture. So that when I corner my hair, it's all doing the same thing. I notice when I leave part of my hair in its natural nappy state, having to be nappy, right? Its natural state, and then like blow dry the ends, but like leave the roots nappy and kicky, like it's more prone to breakage that way. So I just try to make sure it's one uniform texture, and yeah, and keep the wink. So just going through, blowing it out, and what I'll do by the end of this is, I have to wipe my face because it's a process, right? You might sweat a little, you probably will, but you're gonna burn some calories. I should have worn my Apple Watch while I did with this. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, right, take the clip, and then blow out, just run my blow dryer through both sections together. That's what I have to do to keep everything uniform. Right? Look at your girl's hair. Ooh, it has grown so much. I remember at one point, all my hair fell out. Hair stress is real, right? A few years back, because I tried to do this rice water treatment, and I had been traveling, and I had just been going through a lot of things, and my hair just fell out. I think this was like during the pandemic, right? So I had maybe like 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of hair on my head. And now you can see, like with the routine I've been doing, it has grown back tremendously. So that's another section I had already blow dried. And I'm just quickly running the blow dryer through the sections all together. If you look at the right side, right, which is my left in video, but the right side, you can see the base is a little like thinner, right? You can see through it almost compared to the left side. And that's because I guess, so that was the side where I experienced the breakage. I had to experience some breakage. And the beautiful thing about our hair is like, you can see, like I was saying, you can see it start to fill back in over time. So I think right before this round of blowing it out, I did trim off like 1/4 of an inch. And I think that helped a lot. I think that helped a lot with it sort of growing back. And yeah, so that's what I plan to do, is just moving forward for every 2 months that I have it under cornrows, and I go down to do this blow drying process at the end of the 2 months. What I'll do is, and I might do this even less frequently because it doesn't need it that much, but I'll give my hair like a trim of 1/4 of an inch, right? Maybe like 2, 4, 6, roughly every 6 months, right? So I do the protein treatment, deep condition, and blowout every 2 months. So every 3 times that I do that, which would be 6 months, I'll trim off 1/4 of an inch at the end. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on going. You notice that every time I blow dry a section, I sort of wind it up and then clip it with the clip. We're just moving on down, easing on down the road. I'm gonna blow out this next section. What else? Yeah, you see me finger detangling again, and you can spray your hair with a spray bottle if during the process you find that the sections that were wet start to dry up a little. You don't want them to be dry before you start the blow drying process, or else it'll actually make it very matted, and it'll be harder for your brush to go through, either the detangling brush or the blow dryer. That blow dryer to me is such a game changer. It's by Revlon, and honestly, it just, instead of you having to use, because I noticed with me, like the comb attachments would always like make that sound, right? Or it would feel like I was ripping the hair out of my head. But the fact that that blow dryer has a built-in padded brush, right? It just has worked wonders for my hair. So there we go. You can see the hair fall. Making sure to do that. I had to blow it a little to get it off my finger. Making sure to do that gets the single strand knots out of the way, so that when I go to detangle it, I can have an easier time. So let's talk about supplements real quick, and I'll do a video on this, but a lot of folks ask what has helped me the most with my hair growth, and I say supplements. Woo, supplements. Obviously, like, don't go supplement crazy and take everything. Like, talk to your doctor about everything, right? This is not, I'm not a medical provider, right? At least not in the traditional sense. And but personally, I do what works for me. So I take a combination of let's see, collagen. Like, I just do 1 scoop of collagen with tea in the morning, and I typically do hibiscus tea because that has vitamin C, and combining vitamin C with MSM makes it more effective. So the other thing I add to my tea is MSM. I forget what the abbreviation stands for, but it's a sulfur compound, and you just take, like, what I do anyways, take like maybe half a teaspoon to, like, maybe it's even less than that, 1/4 of a teaspoon. But there's the powder, and it comes with a little spoon in it. And when I say a little goes a long way, a little goes a long way. It's also really helpful. Well, both MSM and collagen are really helpful for the growth of your nails and for healthy skin, right? It shrinks your pores. And for me, I found that it decreased my blemishes, pimples, all that stuff. So yeah, those are my suppies. So MSM, collagen, vitamin C, and then right, tea in general. Tea is great for hair growth, right? Drinking it, and then some folks do tea rinses directly on their hair. And the herbs are very helpful. So I'm detangling again, as you can see, starting from the bottom and then working my way up and using the detangle brush only after I do my finger detangle. And again, that link for the brush is in the description box. So the other thing is with the, MSM, collagen, vitamin C, drinking tea, drinking lots of water, aiming for 100 to 120 ounces a day, right? And some people say, like, do you have your body weight? I think 100 to 120 ounces a day is good. 80 ounces on a day when you're really busy and maybe just like not focusing on it too much. But drinking herbal tea throughout the day is like a fun way to just kind of get your water in, right? And I read somewhere that like warm water, hot water can kill 90% of disease within the body, or like, you know, your most common diseases. So like the viruses that cause just like issues in the stomach, right? And obviously for more serious stuff, it will take a lot more than warm water. But for just like everyday sickness, right? Like you can prevent a lot of that stuff by just drinking warm water. So tea is the fabulous route to gastrointestinal and even like respiratory health. And like if you do chamomile will help you like relieve your anxiety and sleep better, right? Like green tea will energize you. Tea is so great. So yeah, yep. What else? Okay, I also take saw palmetto. I take saw palmetto gummies. I'll link all the stuff in the description box. A few of my favorite things.